I'm back in the news cycle and it's been a huge week for VR news. The future is looking exceptionally bright and I'm going to coin this period the summer of VR. When the weather gets warm and unless you have air conditioning or live somewhere cool, VR becomes way more uncomfortable. It seems to be a good time to begin building and teasing for the autumn or fall period as the weather cools. So without further ado, let's dive in. The first big update is that Meta is actually fixing the biggest issue with the Quest 3 pass-through, warping. You can see in this comparison it looks like a huge improvement. I do worry though that we may be sacrificing the feeling of depth in the pass-through to make this improvement. We'll have to wait and see. This is part of v66, which is currently rolling out, and even if you have this software version now, this sub-roll out some of its features, so you might not see the pass-through improvement just yet. And that's not all for v66. Alongside this, they've improved the pass-through colour further and the hand tracking alignment with your virtual and real hands. We also have background audio now. 2D apps can be minimised and continue playing the audio you have on them. I've already seen people using this in Mudrunner, but this would be cool for something like Walkabout Mini Golf or Golf Plus. Wrist buttons will be included as an experimental feature, something else people have been asking for and I'm excited to try out. This same update will finally allow Netflix to work in the Meta browser. It's annoying that we won't get an update to the actual app, but at least we should be able to go beyond the app's 480p resolution, which is just a disgrace at this point. It also looks like you'll be able to change the size and position of the spatial videos on Quest 3. They're still a little hidden away in the Files app, but it's a solid feature that I'm sure will be utilised a lot more in the future, so it's great to see these small quality of life improvements. Make sure to take a look at the panoramic images too, if you haven't already. In the Files app there are a bunch of example panorama photos to look at, worth checking out and then uploading some of your own. So that's the new Quest software out of the way, let's take a look at some games. PlayStation's State of Play did provide gameplay for two big upcoming releases, but I'll start with the Batman Arkham Shadow announcement. The teaser trailer released around 4 weeks ago at the time of this video. We haven't seen any gameplay yet, and while they've teased a second trailer coming for Summer Games Fest tonight, we've had confirmation this won't contain any gameplay. Camouflage's CEO Ryan Payton, the developer behind Arkham Shadow, was interviewed on Caboose's channel and explained it's a story trailer, so it won't show any gameplay, but will expand on what Arkham Shadow's story focus is.
What we want to do for the next trailer, with the story trailer, is to really reveal what the main crux of our story is, some of the main characters in the story, like you see Batman in all of his glory, and then from that point, actually from that day forward, and perhaps even with you, I'll be able to talk a little bit more about what the game content's going to be. Even if we're not showing gameplay, I'll be able to talk a lot more about what the game actually contains.
Disappointing, but I'm sure we'll see more when it's ready. Boz also shared his own thoughts on Arkham Shadow here.
I really am, and my enthusiasm is based on a couple things. First of all, it's a franchise that I've enjoyed on a couple platforms previously, but also because I have had a chance to see some of the early interactions and graphics, and it's good. You should be excited.
Next is Behemoth, which recently did the rounds on creators' channels as they showed tons more gameplay from a demo sequence they were let in on. Everything I've seen so far has looked incredible. My concern is that it would all be snowy mountains and might get boring, but Ian Higton over at Eurogamer confirmed the developers told him to expect more biomes, swamps, caverns and more. I'm really looking forward to this one. State of Play also gave us a very brief look at Alien Rogue Incursion, and it was a rough trailer, seemingly captured on PSVR 2 due to the frame rate, which isn't how the game will run, it's just due to the capture option, I'm told. It's a shame that's the footage used to show the world what it looks like, but at least we've seen something, I guess. I really need to see more first, but I'm worried about the Quest version, honestly. The Alien aesthetic is all about fog and mist, light and shadow. If none of that is available on Quest, it'll be missing all the atmosphere that makes Alien, Alien. Tentatively excited. If they hit the quality bar of one of Servios' previous games, Westworld Awakening, this should be a good one, but we'll see how they handle the Quest 3 optimization. Hitman 3 VR Reloaded also just got announced as a Quest 3 exclusive. We already have Hitman VR on PSVR 1 and Steam. I actually haven't played it myself, but from what I hear the controls are particularly awful. So essentially XR Games, the developers of the Zombieland and upcoming Zombie Army VR games, is taking this one on. And the studio is only 30 minutes down the road from me, so if they happen to be watching, I'd love to come check it out and even test the game and provide feedback. The trailer shows a second of gameplay, and it certainly isn't a showcase second, so I can't draw any conclusions, and I'm excited to see more. Sounds like the idea is to rebuild Hitman 3 from the ground up in VR and have modern VR controls to boot. They're going for a cel-shaded art style, which is an interesting choice too, potentially to aid optimization on the Quest 3 and allow the large crowds we'd expect to blend in with in Hitman games. Apparently the rumour mill is expecting a couple more big announcements on the horizon. I'm still holding out hope for GTA. No news is good news for me on this one, and I believe Video Games Deluxe are working on the port after they ported the trilogy to Android last year, with Quest OS being Android based. It would make sense. Population 1 got a big update with a whole new map, class fast systems, new mechanics like sprinting by stations and redeployments. It sounds like the gameplay loop they're going for is non-stop action. There were certainly times in Pop 1 previously when me and my team are trawling the map looking for more enemies and coming up short until the end game. This looks to remedy that gameplay type and I'm excited to jump in. The viral liminal game Exit 8 is getting a VR port from veteran VR developers My Dearest. That's right, the creepy anomaly spotting game was just announced as coming to Quest July 11th. Not only that, but this short experience is reflected in the price at £4.49 pre-order or £4.99 on release. Now all these games would have lined up an incredible metagaming showcase, but it looks like this isn't happening. We got an announcement for the next Meta Connect in September, but radio silence on a gaming showcase. The theory being that they've taken over a chunk of the Summer Games Fest to push VR out to the biggest possible audience. And this marketing email from Meta seems to confirm that. Announcements, Quest 3S maybe, first looks and trailers. While this is a great marketing strategy and I think will provide the desired outcome, it's hard for me to not be disappointed. Meta's gaming showcase has been the biggest VR only game focused event, and without it, we end up with social post announcements and trailers on YouTube channels rather than an event some of these might deserve. Let me know what you think below. On the back of Summer Games Fest, I'm also thinking they announced the Quest 3 there, as I expect they mirror the Quest 3 timeline, announced early summer, then released just after Connect. Without the gaming showcase, Summer Games Fest seems the best option, and the recent confirmation of the name being leaked on the Quest store does seem to indicate an announcement is right around the corner. Coupled with detectives like Luna and Alex from VR Panda potentially spotting the Quest 3S in the background of a video Andrew Bosworth posted, we can't be far away. And Quest 3S looks like it will release with a serious slate of games taking advantage of the XR2 Gen 2 hardware. Alex from VR Panda also seemingly leaked Meta's codec avatars running on a Quest Pro, potentially with updated hardware, so possibly a Quest Pro 2. As you can see in the video, it looks like just the head will be rendered, which is a great optimization route to take if you're actually trying to make this work on standalone hardware. I'm really excited to see more. Now let's look at more VR hardware. PSVR 2's PC Link peripheral will be releasing for $60. While you will miss out on a huge chunk of PSVR 2 specific features, if you own the headset and a gaming PC, you'll now have access to a bunch more games than you did before. I don't know if this is enough to entice new buyers, but it's great to see from Sony. If anyone bought an XR Elite from HTC, you're entitled to a free head strap and a facial interface. HTC announced all existing owners and new buyers will be sent a brand new deluxe pack with 4 newly designed attachments: Vive Face Gasket 2.0, Vive MR Gasket for mixed reality, Vive Deluxe Strap and Vive Temple Clips. If you own an XR Elite, let me know in the comments. I'm genuinely interested. Pico 4S has reportedly been spotted on a Geekbench 6 score, confirming it'll be using the XR2 Gen 2, but it will actually have 12GB of RAM versus the Quest 3's 8GB. Although looking at the score, it seems in its current state it doesn't score higher than the Quest 3, most likely due to early optimizations or maybe thermal constraints. And finally, in a huge week of VR news, we have Palmer Luckey, founder of Oculus and godfather of all things modern VR, is set to announce a new HMD. We know nothing more than that, but I expect it's for military use cases and part of his defense company Anduril. When we see more, I'll show more. If you've made it this far, make sure to give me a thumbs up below, and if you haven't yet, please subscribe. On my last video, 91% of viewers were unsubscribed. It'd be great to change that. VR is on the open up. Glad to be back in the news cycle, and as usual for more news reviews and all things XR, I'm d66, and I'll see you on the other side.
Click through to the system, it's possible to be a